It's time for another episode of JWA Fixes, a series that I'm slowly, in terms of like me, myself, making and fixing creatures, I'm slowly losing the passion for because, well, Ludia doesn't care about balancing their creatures, so why should I care about balancing their creatures that they obviously don't care about anymore? But anyway, my next video was planned to do like all of my apexes and give them animated rigs and then just do like a little size comparison that Goji Center would usually do with Jurassic Park dinosaurs. I was hoping to do that with like my custom dinosaurs, but that takes a lot of work and I kept putting it off. That's why I said in the last episode of JWA Fixes that it was going to be a long time before I would do my next episode. But now that our Omegas are a thing, I'm just gonna go through and look at some of my custom Omegas. Because yes, I made 12, as you can see. Although, I will only show you 11, as one of them, this one right here, is part of a little private project of mine that I'm not ready to reveal. So, we're gonna go in alphabetical order, starting with Big E.T. This was originally an epic I made. After the Atrociraptors came out, all as epics, I figured, you know what, fine, all unique dinosaurs can be epics, except this one will be an Omega, because, well, it just seems right to just throw one of these named dinosaurs as an Omega, like Toro. And then a lot of people would ask, but then why would you put Big Edie over Rexy when Rexy's just a legendary and this is an Omega? That's not right. Well, I refer to you to Ceratosaurus and Draco Venator, who are both like regular dinosaurs, and they are uniques right now. So, we have no room for logic here in JWA. Group, Cleansing, Shattering Strike, Revenge, Fierce Impact, Skirmish. Those were the original epic abilities with the original epic stats. I added on Revenge, Wild Rampage, which is basically just an ability that just cleanses all negative effects, nullify all positive effects, bypass armor, and then times 2 damage. Then it has Counter Ferocity, which was the T-Rex's new move, and Swap In Cloak, which is the Indominus Rex's new move. As for its, like, resistances, it's honestly lackluster, because, again, this originally was designed as an epic. Because I was bored, and I decided, why not? I'll do all the named dinosaurs in Camp Cretaceous, except for the babies. As for its, let's see then. This T-Rex has been through a lot, thus granting her the title of the Queen of Manticore Island. I probably could have come up with a better description than that, but whatever. I just wanted to I just threw this together at the last minute. I will say that Big Edie, like, as a character, not really too big on her, because she feels very much like... Because a lot of people hate Blue because she's the good guy dinosaur, so Big Edie is that times 10. So it's like, okay, yeah, she's the good T-Rex. We're doing that despite the fact that previous seasons of Camp Cretaceous treated Rexy very well, where she's actually treated like a force of nature again. The T-Rex isn't picking sides. It'll go after the kids just as much as it will go after the bad guys. And then in Season 3, it does not encounter the Scorpius Rex once. It only appears in one episode. And man, it was such a good appearance because you get to see the T-Rex in the rain again. And then Season 4 and 5 happened and then said, oh, T-Rex is good guy again. The exact problem I have with the Jurassic World franchise with just heroizing Rexy, and it just doesn't work for me, and a lot of other people. That being said, I do really like the colors of Big Edie. The fact that we finally got a T-Rex that isn't brown. Well, we also have green T-Rexes, but this is a female. We can't have a green female, that wouldn't make sense. So rather than having another brown T-Rex, we got a blue one, which I was very happy with. Moving on to some DK dinosaurs, because I labeled them all in the DK, which stands for Dinosaur King, starting with Ace, who was originally a legendary. But ever since Omegas came out and it's like your companion dinosaur, I decided it made sense to make the D-Team and the Alpha Gang main character dinosaurs as Omegas. Stats and abilities are all the same, but I did add Pesky Alert because Omegas need to have like 2 regular abilities and then 4 abilities that they unlock along the way. One for the rare, epic, legendary, and then unique. Resistances are the same, so they are very lackluster compared to other dinosaurs in like the Omega tier. As for his quote, it's the same thing that I always say, because in the Dinosaur King commentaries on Indominus Rex 01 channel, we give the dinosaurs voices, and Ace sounds like Carl from the flip side. Hey guys, it's Carl! In fact, we even named him Carl just for the fun of it. That was fun, just looking at dinosaurs and then just giving them random personalities. Anyway, here is Chomp, where it's like, also, same story as Ace. All the abilities are the same. The only thing I added was swap in Stunning Strike. Which is, honestly, I honestly didn't think it was a good idea to have swap in Stunning Strike and Stunning Obstruction at the same time. But then Spinoceratops and Ceramagnus now exist. So, yeah, there is no reason for him to not have both. Plus, it works better for the Omega fit. Everything else is pretty much the same. Moving on to Paris. Oh, all the good guy dinosaurs all in alphabetical order. Great. Group Cleansing Strike, Metal Wing, Bigfoot Assault. Those are both the special abilities of Paris. You know, the Metal Wing are the Geosternbergia, which used to be called Pteranodon back then, and Bigfoot Assault is the Seismosaurus, which we nicknamed Elmo. Added ability is Invincible Heal because you need 4 abilities to unlock along the way. I've always imagined that the DK dinosaurs, if for some reason Ludia decided, let's do a crossover with Dinosaur King for some reason, they would be special dinosaurs. They come, before I thought they would come out as legendary. I would imagine they came out in legendary raids. And then once you unlock them, then they would have these special abilities, like Paris' ability, Metal Wing. It would be just the regular Parasaurolophus calling animation, but then Geosternbergia would come flying down and attack. Same thing with the Bigfoot Assault, except a big old foot would come and smush the camera. Oh, and I also added Rend immunity because Stegurus has Rend immunity, which is the first of its kind. I'm really curious to see that in action, even though it's literally exactly what it sounds like. It's immune to Rend, so when the Rend attacks, it's just it does nothing. That's a curious thing to note. And I've added it to Paris, which is why it only has 2 things it's immune to. And of course, it has this quote because Paris in the Dinosaur King commentaries, we nicknamed him Plankton. Actually, her. It is revealed that Paris is a girl in the end. But we call her Plankton because I think we were going around how we nicknamed Chomp Patrick and we had the Ultirhinus named Squidward and we needed a Plankton. So we just decided, actually no, we came up with, we needed a personality for Paris and we decided to just go with Plankton. And then it just was now you can help me steal the Krabby Patty secret formula! Okay, next is Spiny. Terry looks like the last Dinosaur King dinosaur we're gonna go over. I don't think I changed anything except for adding gradual armor counter, which is not to be confused with Diabloceratops' fortifying defensive counter thing. Which is, I just made that ability up myself because I wanted a gradual armor counter. And else, because I made Spiny Wildcard. And that's another thing I didn't mention. Ace is a cunning, even though most Carnotaurs there are only 2 Carnotaurs in the game and they're both Wildcards. But Ace is 100% cunning because you look at Ace in the show and he's the fastest. So it makes sense for him to be labeled cunning. Chomp is labeled as a fierce because he's just a heavy hitter. Paris is the resilience because, well, Paris is just a support. Spiny is a wild card because Spiny has the bulk to pull off some heavy damage like a fierce, but he's also pretty fast for his size, so that makes him a cunning. And, well, so I just decided, let's make him a wild card. So he has tough group cunning impact. They could just call it group cunning impact. Flash Flood, oh, that's an ability I made up and I almost spelled it wrong. Aqua Whip, another ability I made. This one is just from, okay, Flash Flood is from the Futabasaurus, that's right. And Aqua Whip is the ability that the Baryonyx used in Season 2, where it just vomited water. He has the most resistances, honestly. And we just nicknamed, because of an episode where he lost because he didn't eat his breakfast, we called him Breakfast Boy, and that's why he's addicted to breakfast. Next up we have Tank, which is basically somehow we went from calling Tank one of the smartest dinosaurs in the show as a joke, and then it became Tank is the almighty god of Dinosaur King. Superior vulnerability, I don't think I changed anything. Yeah, Tank already had the right amount of abilities to be an Omega, so I didn't change anything about Tank. You can get a read of her abilities though. Moving on to Terry, which is, why did I blank out? I know everyone knows Terry. He's my most popular repaint video. So popular that YouTube decided to claim it as made for kids. Thank you, YouTube. I mean, I can't really argue that it's not made for kids because it's a toy dinosaur that I painted in a very bright color that is appealing to children. So I guess there really is no reason why I shouldn't call it made for kids. It's the same thing with the A Dinosaur Story remake, which the third movie was very popular, and YouTube said, oh, people are watching this. Mark it as made for kids so he makes less money. But again, I can't argue against it because it's a man-child playing with dinosaur toys. That's basically the whole movie. I can't say that's not for kids. What did I change here? Nothing. I added bait. That's it, because you needed 4 extra abilities to be marked as an Omega. Oh, and because of the episode where Terry does a Tyranno kick, we called him the Dragon Warrior. So one of his quotes is, of course, monkey. Because of that meme with Oogway. What's next? Again, I'm skipping this one because I'm not ready to reveal what that is yet. Kevin! Originally an epic. I turned it into an Omega. I honestly, all of these creatures, none of them were like, I made them just today. They were all previously made, and I thought they were all worthy of the title of Omega. So, Kevin I just made Kevin as a joke character to be exactly what he would do. Kevin is capable of camouflaging in with brown foliage. He dig in taunt is basically where he just, you know how bearded dragons stomp their foot on the floor while bobbing their head furiously? That would be his dig in taunt. Also, he likes to dig, sort of. Resilient, shielded, rampage, and run. I think that originally used to be something else, but I decided that he needs something. Kevin needs something to deal damage, as well as cautious impact, because I have seen Kevin sneak up on a spider one time, so that makes him cautious. Wounding counter, because if you sneak up on him, like in the early days, if you don't have enough trust with him, he will turn around and bite you, so that can cause some bleeding. Healing accelerate on escape to prove just how fast this dude can really be if he wants to be. Kevin is completely harmless, unless you corner him. That's when he tries to bite. That's how old this thing is. This was I made this back when Kevin was brand new to me. That's how old JWA Fixes is. That's how old I am. I'm a very old man. Moving on! We have Pierce. Did I spell that right? Pierce? Pyarse? I don't know how to spell Pierce, I'm sorry. This one originally used to be an epic. All I did was add Shielded Alert Rampage, which is a massively OP ability, which I honestly hate. But it makes sense to give it to, because Ludia doesn't care about balance, so why should I? I'm gonna make all my dinosaurs as OP as possible from now on. Final Blow, which I actually gave to, my own custom old buck, because I really like the Dinosauria series. Pierce was an essential subject in Dr. Turner's research, allowing her to communicate with dinosaurs. Unfortunately, her employer had less innocent intentions for the technology. Yeah, I like Pierce. Pierce works a lot better as a good guy dinosaur than something like Big Edie, because Pierce did work, because unlike Big Edie, they admitted that they came from Isla Sorna, but Pierce was made in that lab because Kentrosaurus was never introduced anywhere else. So Pierce was most likely raised by Dr. Turner, so it makes sense that he would be a little more friendly around humans, as that's what raised him. It's a little less so for Firecracker and, again, the Spinoceratopses, where they're babies, so they're just friendly. But I guess that's a discussion for another day with how Camp Cretaceous, and Jurassic in general, and the franchise in general, treats its... No, wait. Jurassic World... Sorry. I was about to talk about how the treatment of the herbivores versus the carnivores in the Jurassic franchise, where it's they always say dinosaurs deserve to be free and stuff, and then the carnivores are constantly trying to kill everyone, and the herbivores are just pushovers who just die. It's especially so in Camp Cretaceous, where every herbivore will just run away. Toro just roars, and the Stegosaurus just bolt. It's a discussion for another day, though. Sukis, I decided to add at least 2 creatures that were just regular, non-character dinosaurs, because that seems to be what Omega is going for. They're going for, real-life dinosaurs. In fact, there was a data mine for, some more dinosaurs, and I'm pretty sure one of those are all real dinosaurs they're data mining, so I'm guessing at least one of those is going to be an Omega. Sukis has all the same abilities that he used to. I think it's gotten through a bunch of rework, though, because I checked it. One of its abilities were deleted. Apparently, I deleted one of its abilities, so it's fine. Now it's all good. All of its abilities are here, including an ability that I made exclusively for the Gallimides. Or the Ornithomimids. Sorry, I'm not very scientifically inclined to speak. No description. I just say where it spawns because this thing used to be an epic. Everywhere. More common during spring. Same chance as a rare spawn. Which is something I oh, this was one of my seasonal spawns. I'll have to make a new seasonal creature to spawn during, like, to be a more active spring spawn. And oh yeah, I also boosted its stats because it had very lackluster stats for like something that could contend with uniques. And finally, Shunosaurus, which is one of my favorite sauropods since... When did I first hear about Shunosaurus? It was just a book, wasn't it? Why is this one of my favorite sauropods? I don't know. I just like sauropods with club tails, I guess. I feel like this would... But I do feel like this would be great for like an Omega. Because it looks like Ludia is just really reaching up, like Stigurus over something like Titania or Tarchia or Zool. All four, those three are all ankylosaurs who are pretty popular, or like at least sorta well known by the community. But Stigurus, I've never heard of Stigurus, and that thing got an Omega. Shunosaurus is another one that's like not everyone knows what it is, so I feel like it would also work as an Omega. Group Decelerating Impact, Rampage, Invincible Alert. Is that an ability I made up? Oh no, this is my edited version of Ankyloceratops' really bad ability, which is Invincible Alert. That ability just doesn't... I'm sorry, but Invincible Alert just is not a good ability. Survival Instinct from Diabloceratops. Swap in Endurance from Toro. Is that too many abilities? Nope, that's the right amount of abilities. And this one spawns in all zones except 3. So yeah, that's basically all of my Omegas. I guarantee I'm going to make more in the future. And I guarantee that all of you on my Discord are going to have a blast making more of these as well. And I honestly can't wait to see them. So, get creative, everybody. My burger's getting cold. Goodbye.